And what society really ought to celebrate is, again, that interior sense of sexual authenticity that makes you you, the most important thing about you. That's the thing we have to glorify here in the United States, which is the only reason why you would invite a non-binary drag queen named Marti G. Cummings to the White House. This is rather astonishing stuff. So if you are attempting to make the case for same-sex marriage, typically the strongest case for same-sex marriage is not going to be a promiscuous gay man gallivanting around in women's clothing. That's typically not the strongest argument for same-sex marriage. The argument for same-sex marriage that won over most Americans is, here are two people of the same sex, they love each other and they want to live in a monogamous relationship, sort of an ersatz form of marriage. Sure, they can't produce biological children, but love is love, and what they want is the same sort of monogamous love that traditional religious married couples have, or traditional married couples have, male-female dyads who are monogamous in nature. Now, there are a lot of people like Dan Savage, who suggested gay marriage was never that. Andrew Sullivan says this also, right? Even when he was promoting same-sex marriage, the idea was never that this was going to be about male-male monogamous dyads, essentially. It was going to be a formalization of relationship, but there would still be outside sexual activity, something Dan Savage, again, has talked about regularly, that it was not quite the same in kind as it was made out to be for the purposes of the American public relations campaign. But that was at least the public relations campaign. The public relations campaign is that it was going to be two people who are deeply in love with one another of the same sex, and now they wanted to formalize their monogamous relationship. So you'd imagine those would be the types of people that the Biden administration would invite to the White House to celebrate this, correct? Well, not exactly. They also invited Marti G. Cummings, who's an anti-police activist who has tweeted out, all cops are bastards and the like. If you can't see the pictures of this human, count yourself lucky if you're listening to this on a podcast. This is a man wearing what would be skimpy female lingerie, including a thong, and who has tweeted out in the past, "The kids are out to sing and suck D." Now, presumably in that tweet, he was talking about younger gay people who are actually not minors, but the language is somewhat obscure. Suffice it to say, this is not the best example of a person who is the exemplar of monogamous same-sex marriage. This is a person who is celebrating gender bending, right? Or a person who is celebrating gender fluidity, or a person who's celebrating wild sexual promiscuity. I mean, this is literally a person who cut a video on YouTube about how much he likes bleep, complete with pictures of erect penises. This is the person that the White House invited to celebrate. It was very important the White House invited this person to celebrate because, again, it's not just that all monogamous relationships are the same, it's that all sexual activity is the same. All forms of sexual authenticity are the same. And your children must be taught this. They must be taught this in schools. We'll get to more on this in just 1 second. First, with everything going on in the world right now, you could really use a good night's sleep. That's why you need to check out Helix Mattress. I've had my Helix mattress for years at this point. It is wonderful because it is what allows me to have the rest that I so crave. Helix has several different mattress models to choose from, soft, medium, and firm mattresses. Mattresses great for cooling it down. Mattresses for spinal alignment, prevent morning aches and pains. Even a Helix Plus mattress for plus-size sleepers. If you're nervous about buying a mattress online, you don't have to be. Helix has a sleep quiz that matches your body type and sleep preferences to the perfect mattress for you. Because why would you buy a mattress made for somebody else? I took the Helix quiz. I was matched with a firm yet breathable model because if it's not firm, then I get back pain. If it's not breathable, then I heat up too much. Go to helixsleep.com/Ben, take their 2-minute sleep quiz, find the perfect mattress for your body and sleep type. Your mattress will come right to your door, shipped for free. Plus, Helix has a 10-year warranty. You get to try it out for 100 nights risk-free. They'll even pick it up for you if you don't love it, but you will. Helix has over 12,000 5-star reviews. Their financing options and flexible payment plans make it so a great night's sleep is never far away. For a limited time, Helix is offering up to $350 off all mattress orders plus 2 free pillows for our listeners. It's their best offer yet. It's not going to last long. Hurry on over to helixsleep.com/Ben. With Helix, better sleep starts now. Why do you think that Joe Biden and the NEA are so insistent that laws like Florida's, which say that you are not allowed to teach sexual orientation and gender identity nonsense to 5-year-old children, why do you think the White House opposes that exactly? Why is the White House against it? Seems like a pretty common sense sort of thing. Turns out a majority of Democrats support that law in the state of Florida. And nationwide, by the way, by polling data. But the left opposes that. Because again, the idea is that all of the institutions of life crimp your style. And so we must teach children. It's important to teach children, to indoctrinate children in the same sort of ideas promoted by Marti G. Cummings. That is the way that we will all be truly free in the future. Here is Marti G. Cummings in a video that is pure nightmare fuel.
I like big.
This person is invited to the White House.
I want a thick.
Very important. This is the best America has to offer. Invited to the White House.
I don't want your drink. I want your dick.
How delightful.
To have sex with a different guy each week. So that's 52 guys in the whole.
That's enough of that. This is, again, there's only one reason that the White House would do this. I didn't say that this person should go to the White House. Joe Biden said this person should go to the White House. Of course, this follows hard on 4 weeks ago, Joe Biden having over to the White House Dylan Mulvaney, a man who says that he is a woman, dressed up in the most garish outfit, and sitting across from him explaining to this man who decided he was a woman approximately 1 year ago that he is a perfect exemplar of womanhood. This is part and parcel of a broader agenda, and that broader agenda obviously has to do with kids. By the way, it is worth noting here that this Marti G. Cummings character also happens to be a drag queen who performs in front of children and then celebrates performing in front of children. In fact, just last year, this person did a drag show in front of small children and tweeted out, Logan was one of the kids who came out to celebrate Pride at Queens Botanical Garden. He was so excited and said he wants to perform with us next year. The kid is maybe 5 in that photo. So obviously this has to do with the children. It's the only reason why, again, the Biden administration is attempting to lump all of this together. They don't have to lump all of this together. They don't have to talk about how the laws protecting children from being mutilated are the same as same-sex marriage laws. They don't have to talk about the Equality Act. They don't have to talk about any of this stuff. This is not the end point. This is only the beginning. And when I warn that, people on the left immediately say, slippery slope argument. Well, prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. I've been arguing since the mid-2000s that it was moving in this direction. And it turns out that you have justified every fear that traditionally religious and people of traditional values have had for 30 years in this country, 40, 50 years in this country. You've justified all of that by continuing to move along this line. And then when you say it's the end point, again, the idea is we don't believe you. Why should we believe you? I see no reason to believe you exactly. Joe Biden says, the good news is that as more and more Americans come to understand what this is all about is a simple proposition. Who do you love? And will you be loyal to the person you love? And that's what people are finding out. It's what all marriages at their root are about, whether they're marriages of lesbians or gay men or heterosexuals. Again, he's still out there pitching the old playbook while having people to the White House who obviously are not participating in the old playbook. He's not using the model of marriage and then applying it to two people of the same sex. Supposedly, that's what the bill is about. That's not what the bill is about. The bill is about a broader rubric under which anybody who opposes the idea that all forms of sexual activity and sexual identity are morally equivalent, all those people are treated as pariahs and bigots and ought to be excised by American society and treated the same way that we treat racists in the United States. Alrighty, guys, the rest of the show is continuing right now. You're not going to want to miss it. We'll be speaking with Dr. Marty McCary about whether the big pharma companies lied to you about the vaccines, plus Eliza Blue, survivor of sexual assault, who is now speaking out about what Twitter was doing to essentially facilitate the spread of child sexual abuse material. If you're not a member, click the link in the description and join us.